Hi, so today I'm making something called Aloo Gobi, potato and cauliflower curry basically. So I've put a couple of tablespoonfuls of mustard oil into my pan and I'm just sizzling a teaspoonful of cumin seeds. I want quite an aromatic oil. Don't let the oil get too hot, you don't want to burn the seeds, just sizzle them slightly. And into that I'm putting a medium onion. I've used red onion here, but it's not essential. It's just what I've got. So I'm just going to let that saute and take on a golden brown colour. It'll take about 5-10 minutes. So while the onions are sauteing, I've parboiled about a small cauliflower that I've chopped into florets and 400 gram of potatoes. I've used small potatoes, salad potatoes, and chopped them up roughly. You can use a couple of medium-sized potatoes. And I've parboiled these for about 5 minutes just to start them softening, start them cooking. Right, the onions are beginning to take some colour. So what I'm going to do now is add in about a tablespoonful of garlic and ginger paste. Cook that for about a minute or so. So next I'm going to add the dry herbs, dry spices. So I've got a teaspoonful of turmeric, teaspoonful of ground coriander, teaspoonful of Kashmiri chili pepper and a teaspoonful of cumin, ground cumin. So I'm going to tip all those in. And just add a splash of water. This is to help the spices cook. Raw spices have a powdery, almost sour taste to them. So I just want cooking through for about a minute. And next I'm adding a tin of chopped tomatoes. I just rinse out the tin. With some more hot water. So I'm just going to cook the tomatoes and the spices for a while until I see the oil begin to separate to tell me that the sauce is properly cooked. It has got an Indian name, I forget what it's called, but when the oil starts appearing on the surface, pooling on the surface, you know that it's your sauce is cooked. Right, so the sauce is getting to about where I want it, so I'm just going to add now the potatoes and the cauliflower. Give it a good stir so that everything's covered in the sauce. Aloo Gobi is normally served, well, it's served often as a side dish. I'm cooking this as a main. I'll just have it with some roti later on. Which is why I've made so much. Right, so I'm going to put the lid back on and leave that to simmer. Let's turn the heat down for about 10-15 minutes till the potatoes and cauliflower have cooked through. Right, so the curry's been simmering for about 10 minutes. Everything's softened nicely from the feel of it. And I just want to thicken up the sauce slightly by adding a couple of tablespoonfuls of Greek yoghurt. And you will have noticed, or the more sharp-eyed of you will have noticed, that I've added no seasoning to this whatsoever. No salt, no pepper, no garam masala, because I want to do that now after I've thickened up the sauce. So let's just cook out the yoghurt for a minute or two. So I'm going to add a teaspoon, heaped teaspoonful of garam masala. And just to offset the tomato sourness, a teaspoonful of something called amchur, which is a mango powder. So I'll give them a good stir in. And a cook through. And I'll give it another taste test in a minute. If I were having this as a side dish, I wouldn't have added the yoghurt, but I want to thicken it up slightly so that I can eat it with roti as a main course. Those potatoes could have done with a couple of minutes more. They're soft enough, they break up as soon as I touch them, but if you're using this type of potato, the sort of Jersey Royal salad potato type, they may need a bit of longer parboiling. Right, another taste test. It's nice. Maybe a hint of salt. Just about a teaspoon. Right, so I'll turn off the heat and leave that for a while I cook some roti, make some roti. Then I'll probably sprinkle over a load of chopped coriander, stir that in, and the meal will be done. Right, so a bit of a postscript. I've had a meal out the Aloo Gobi, and I thought I'd show you a variation. As some of you will know, I spent a lot of time in, before I moved up to Nepal, in southern India, in southeast Tamil Nadu area, and that's where I learnt a lot of my cooking. And I've got to admit, my palate prefers those sort of flavours. So what I've done, I've added a tin of coconut milk and about a tablespoonful of tamarind paste to give it a more sort of Tamil type flavour. The type of flavours I actually prefer, I enjoy. So what I'll do later is serve that up with a bowl of rice. I'm going to make some balls of rice and obviously coriander on top to give it that extra flavour. So that's my Tamil variation on Aloo Gobi. Enjoy!